My name is Joshua Peugh. I'm the Artistic Director of Dark Circles Contemporary Dance. Our spring series consists of 2 works that I've created and 1 by Gregory Dolbashian. All 3 are world premieres. The program opens with Halt, which is a work of mine, followed by Gregory's work called Evermore, and then the world premiere of Bleachers. I start with an idea, or sometimes I start with the music, or sometimes I start with the movement, but I try not to make many parameters so that we can just sort of point the ship towards something and then see where it ends up. Doesn't always end up where we expect it to go, which is what I like. The choreography, the steps are not so interesting without being filled up with somebody's perspective and somebody's heart and soul, and so that's what I'm the most excited about coming up is feeling that, seeing that response. This program is special for a couple of reasons. One is technically it's probably the most difficult program that we've ever done. The dancing is hard and the dancing is deep. It's demanding their physical abilities, but also really demanding their artistic abilities to push their own boundaries and to challenge themselves to find new things and to also bring the theatrical part of dance to the space. I reached out to Gregory a little over a year ago because a lot of dancers that I had worked with at other companies had recommended him to me and said what a great guy he was and how much they enjoyed working with him. And so one of the things that's important to me when I'm bringing people into the company, whether that's new dancers or guest choreographers, I want people who are good people and who inspire and bring a positive sort of growth to the company. So that was one reason. And the other reason was because he and I have sort of been we've been in the same places right before, right after each other. So we're sort of following each other around the circuit and had never actually met until he came here to create the work. And so it was a really fast friendship once he got here. And our principles are very similar. Our desires for what we want movement to do and how we want it to speak are very similar, and so he's a great match for us. I was sparked by an article that I read while I was sitting at a barbershop about boys and sex education, straight boys, and written by a straight man. And I actually made a dance based on that article when I read it 5 years ago and didn't quite feel finished to me because I hadn't addressed sexuality at all and my experience as a gay man and not just as a man. We're all sort of figuring this out together, and then it's a really human thing, and that's always been one of the missions of Dark Circles since the beginning, was to tell human stories in a human way that's as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. And I think that this program does that in a nice way. I want people to go home asking themselves questions about why people act the way we do. Why do I specifically have the feelings that I have? I want people to I want to question our humanity. I make dances so that I can reframe my own questions, to see them in a different way, to try to understand myself. And that's why I make the dances. So hopefully when people leave, they'll be feeling those same things and hearing those questions in their minds.